The Mafia boss was about to marry the woman he trusted most. Then his maid stood before him in tears and said, "Sir, I didn't steal her necklace." Damian Weston looked at her. Ave Carter stood in her simple maid's uniform, her hands trembling. Across the room, Vanessa Reed clutched an empty jewelry box. "She's lying," Vanessa said. "I caught her near my bedroom." Damian's expression remained cold, but he noticed something Vanessa didn't realize. She was trying too hard to convince him, and Damian Weston had built his entire life around recognizing deception. Ave Carter had worked in Damian Weston's mansion for months. She knew how to move quietly through the enormous house, complete her duties, and stay away from the private affairs of the wealthy people who live there. That morning, she was carrying a breakfast tray through the main hallway when Vanessa Reed called her name. "Ave." Ave stopped immediately. "Yes, ma'am. Where's my necklace?" Ave frowned. "I don't know, ma'am. The diamond necklace I left in my bedroom last night. I haven't seen it." Vanessa walked toward her. "You cleaned my bedroom this morning." "Yes. And now my necklace is gone." Ave's face tightened. "I cleaned the room, but I didn't take your necklace." Vanessa grabbed the tray from her hands and placed it roughly on a nearby table. "You expect me to believe that?" Ave kept her voice calm. "I would never steal from you. I found you near my jewelry drawer." "No, ma'am. I was dusting the dresser." The drawer was closed. Vanessa's eyes narrowed. "So you're calling me a liar?" "I'm telling you what happened." Two other household workers stood nearby, watching silently. Vanessa turned toward them. "Search her room." Ave's eyes widened. "You can't do that. I can do whatever is necessary to recover what belongs to me." Before Avenue could respond, a deep voice came from behind them. "That's enough." Everyone turned. Damian Weston stood at the top of the staircase. At 40, he was a commanding presence, tall, muscular, and dressed in a perfectly fitted black suit. His expression gave away nothing. Vanessa immediately approached him. "Damian, my necklace is missing. I heard. She stole it." Damian looked at Ave. "Did you?" "No, sir." Her voice was quiet but firm. Vanessa interrupted. "She was the only person in my room this morning." Damian turned to her. "When did you last see the necklace?" "Last night." "Where did you leave it?" "Inside my jewelry drawer." "Was the drawer locked?" Vanessa hesitated. "No." "Who knew you kept it there?" "I don't know." Damian's eyes remained fixed on her. Vanessa quickly added, "But Avenue was in my room this morning." Ave spoke carefully. "I entered the room because it was part of my cleaning duties. I never opened the drawer." Vanessa folded her arms. "You expect Damian to believe a maid over his fiancée?" Damian didn't answer. Instead, he looked toward his security chief. "Pull the footage from Vanessa's hallway." Vanessa's confidence disappeared. "Damian, that's unnecessary." He turned toward her. "Why?" "Because we already know what happened." "No," Damian said. "You believe you know what happened." The room went silent. Damian continued. "I want to see who entered that hallway, when they entered, and when they left." Vanessa's face tightened. Ave watched Damian carefully. She had expected him to dismiss her without question. Instead, he was investigating. The security chief hurried away. Vanessa stepped closer to Damian. "You're making this bigger than it needs to be." Damian's gaze hardened. "A valuable necklace disappears from my house, and you accuse one of my employees without evidence." "She was there." "That isn't evidence." Vanessa fell silent. Damian looked toward Ave. "Until I finish investigating, nobody touches her room." Ave nodded. "Yes, sir." Damian turned back toward Vanessa. "And nobody leaves this house." For the first time, Vanessa looked genuinely frightened. Ave noticed. So did Damian. but neither of them said anything. Minutes later, the security chief returned with the footage. Damian watched the screen. The hallway appeared. Ave entered Vanessa's bedroom at 8:12 that morning. She left 7 minutes later. No one else entered. Vanessa smiled. There, you see. Damian kept watching. Then he paused the recording. His eyes narrowed. A second figure had appeared at the far end of the hallway earlier that morning. Someone Vanessa had failed to mention. Damian leaned closer to the screen. Who is that? Vanessa's face went pale. And suddenly, the missing necklace wasn't the only thing Damian wanted answers about. Damian stared at the security footage. The figure at the end of the hallway was partially hidden by the camera angle, but the timestamp was clear. 6:47 a.m. Ave had not entered Vanessa's bedroom until 8:12. Damian looked at Vanessa. Who was here at 6:47? Vanessa's expression tightened. I don't know. You live in this house. I can't remember everyone who walks through a hallway. Damian turned to his security chief. Enhance the footage. The image sharpened. The man's face became visible for a moment. Damian recognized him immediately. Richard Carter. Vanessa went still. Ave noticed. So did Damian. Richard was a businessman connected to several of Damian's legitimate companies. He had no reason to be inside Damian's private residence before 7 in the morning. Damian looked at Vanessa. Why was Richard here? He wasn't. Damian pointed toward the screen. That is him. Vanessa swallowed. I don't know why he came. Then we'll ask him. Damian, wait. He turned toward her. There must be an explanation. There will be. Damian walked away. Ave remained where she stood. Damian stopped beside her. Avenue, tell me exactly what you saw this morning. Ave hesitated. When I entered Vanessa's room, the balcony door was open. Vanessa immediately spoke. I always leave it open. Damian raised a hand. Let her finish. Ave continued. There was a glass on the balcony table. It looked like someone had used it recently. Damian looked at Vanessa. You never mentioned that. I didn't think it was important. What else? Ave thought for a moment. There was a piece of black fabric caught on the balcony latch. Where is it? I left it there. Damian looked at his security chief. Get it. Minutes later, the security chief returned with a sealed evidence bag. Inside was a small piece of black fabric. Damian examined it. It matched the material of the suit Richard had worn when he visited the estate the previous evening. His suspicion deepened. Bring Richard here. Richard arrived shortly afterward. He looked from Damian to Vanessa. What's going on? You were in my house this morning. Richard hesitated. I came to speak with Vanessa. About what? Business. What business required a private meeting before 7 in the morning? Richard had no answer. Damian placed the evidence bag on the table. Richard stared at it. Vanessa stepped forward. This proves nothing. Damian looked at her. I wasn't asking you. He picked up a tablet and displayed the estate's security records. Richard had entered at 6:39 a.m. He had gone directly toward Vanessa's private wing. At 7:03, he had left through the side entrance. Damian opened another file. His expression hardened. Several confidential business documents had been accessed from his private office. Those documents were never supposed to leave his control. Those files were accessed while you were here. Richard shook his head. I didn't take anything. You didn't have to. Damian turned to the security chief. Show me who accessed my office. The footage appeared. Vanessa entered Damian's office the previous night. She remained inside for 11 minutes. Minutes later, Richard's phone connected to the mansion's private network. Damian finally understood. The missing necklace was never the real issue. Vanessa had needed Ave removed. Ave had been working inside the house and had unknowingly become a witness to Vanessa's secret meetings. By accusing her of theft, Vanessa could destroy her credibility and force her out before she discovered the truth. Damian looked at Vanessa. You framed her. Vanessa's face hardened. No, you needed everyone to believe Ave was a thief. That's ridiculous. Then explain the security footage. Vanessa remained silent. Damian said nothing more. He had learned enough to know that confronting her now would only make her destroy whatever evidence remained. So he did something Vanessa never expected. He acted as though he had not discovered the full truth. He closed the tablet. Leave. Richard stared at him. Damian, I said leave. Richard turned and walked out. Vanessa remained behind. Are you still angry about the necklace? Damian looked at her calmly. We'll discuss it later. She studied his face, searching for a reaction. There was none. Finally, she left. Once she was gone, Damian turned to Ave. You were telling the truth. Ave nodded. I told you I didn't take it. I know. Damian studied her for a moment. You said you saw Vanessa and Richard together before. Ave hesitated. Yes. When? 3 nights ago. They were talking outside your office. What did you hear? Ave lowered her voice. They mentioned another meeting. When? Tomorrow night. Damian's expression remained controlled. But inside, everything had changed. Vanessa believed the necklace accusation had protected her. She believed Ave's reputation had been destroyed. She believed Damian still trusted her. He would let her believe all 3. Because Damian wasn't ready to expose Vanessa yet. He wanted everything. The necklace, the recordings, the business evidence, and proof of every secret meeting. The pre-wedding gathering was only days away. And Vanessa had no idea that the man she planned to marry was quietly preparing to expose her in front of everyone. The pre-wedding gathering filled Damian Weston's estate with wealthy guests, close associates, and members of his inner circle. Vanessa arrived smiling. She believed everything had gone exactly as planned. Ave stood quietly among the household staff, keeping her distance from the guests. Vanessa glanced at her and smiled. It was the smile of someone who believed she had already won. Damian watched from across the room. He knew the truth, and tonight, everyone else would know it too. When the guests had settled, Vanessa raised her glass. To the future, she said. Several people smiled and lifted their glasses. Vanessa turned toward Damian. To our wedding. Damian didn't raise his glass. Instead, he placed it on the table. Before we celebrate, there's something everyone needs to hear. The room became quiet. Vanessa's smile disappeared. What are you talking about? Damian looked toward his security chief. Play the recording. The large screen at the front of the room came alive. Vanessa's own voice filled the room. You stole my necklace. Ave's voice followed. I didn't take it. Then Vanessa's threat played clearly. You'll be out of this house before tonight. The room fell silent. Vanessa stared at the screen. Damian, he didn't look at her. The recording ended. Damian turned toward the guests. Ave was accused of stealing a necklace she never touched. Vanessa stepped forward. That recording doesn't prove anything. Damian looked at her. Then perhaps the security footage will. The screen changed. Footage showed Richard entering the estate at 6:39 a.m. It showed him entering Vanessa's private wing. Then another recording showed Vanessa entering Damian's office the previous night. The guests began whispering. Vanessa's face tightened. Damian continued. Richard Carter was given access to confidential information belonging to my businesses. Richard, who had been standing among the guests, suddenly stepped backward. This is a misunderstanding. Damian's security team moved toward him. Richard stopped. Damian looked at Vanessa. You didn't accuse Ave because you believe she stole your necklace. Vanessa said nothing. You accused her because she had become a witness. Vanessa's eyes filled with anger. That isn't true. Ave saw you meeting Richard. Vanessa shook her head. She misunderstood what she saw. Damian's voice remained calm. She understood enough. He turned toward the guests. The necklace was a setup. The room erupted in whispers. Vanessa looked around desperately. Damian, please. He finally looked directly at her. You threatened an innocent woman to protect your secret. Vanessa's confidence collapsed. I love you. Damian's expression didn't change. Love doesn't require deception. She stepped closer. I can explain everything. You had every opportunity to tell me the truth. Damian paused. You chose to lie. Vanessa's eyes filled with tears. So, you're ending our engagement? Yes. The answer was immediate. Damian removed the engagement ring from her hand and placed it on the table. Our wedding is canceled. No one spoke. Vanessa looked toward Ave. This is because of her. Damian's voice hardened. No. He stepped between them. This happened because of you. Vanessa lowered her head. The The security team escorted her from the room. Richard was taken away separately to face the consequences of his involvement. The gathering slowly emptied. Ave remained near the doorway. She still looked uncomfortable being the center of attention. Damian approached her. "You can stop looking down." Ave looked up. "Sir, you were innocent." "I know." Damian nodded. "I should have seen that sooner." Ave gave a small smile. "You investigated." "I did." He paused. "And you helped me." Ave shook her head. "I only told you what I saw. That is exactly what I'm talking about." Damian studied her carefully. "For months, everyone in this house has seen you as a maid." Ave remained silent. "I saw the same thing." Her expression changed. "But I was wrong." Damian handed her a folder. Ave opened it. Inside was an employment offer. Her eyes widened. "What is this?" "A position at one of my companies." She looked at him. "Operations." "A senior operations position." Ave stared at the document. "You can't be serious." "I am." "Why me?" "Because you pay attention." Damian's voice softened. "You notice things other people ignored. You stayed honest when lying would have been easier. And when Vanessa accused you, you stood there and told the truth." Ave looked down at the offer again. For months, she had been treated as though she were invisible. Tonight, the most powerful man in the room had finally seen her. "I'll accept," she said. Damian nodded. "Good." Ave smiled. For the first time since she entered the mansion, she no longer felt like someone standing in the background. She had been accused because Vanessa thought her position made her powerless. Instead, that accusation had revealed exactly who Ave Carter was. And Damian Weston would never overlook her again.